build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die.
Hello everybody, welcome to Short Bangers. I'm Matty.
Good morning. I'm calling.
Yes.
This Friday, isn't it?
Friday morning episode. Right, subscribers will know that I was going to say an interesting fact. Right.
You should keep the interesting stuff. You should be saying that on here to entice folk to subscribe. You've got it fucking in reverse.
No. Because I suppose you're right. You're right. But anyway, right, so some things happened over the last couple of weeks, right? So a wee while back, we changed how we did the podcast, didn't we? So we had Short Bangers going out on its own, which is this. And we had Long Bangers for the hip stuff, which is that, right? And you could subscribe, and you still can subscribe just for Short Bangers, just for Long Bangers, or for both. And after we went live with that for the first, I don't know, however many new subscribers we get, because we get a sort of fairly steady stream of them through. There was Long Bangers. Like Long Bangers was the sort of popular choice with it. But recently we've had a couple of Short Bangers ones come in. And then I got an email through, and this is interesting, but I found it interesting because I couldn't quite figure out why. But we have a slightly higher proportion of female listeners than average podcasts do.
Short Bangers?
Aye, Short Bangers, and specifically Short Bangers as well. Why do you think that is? Because it's no YouTube. Because I was like eye candy, obviously.
I was going to say it's probably because I'm sitting rubbing my nipples on
well,
the camera.
There was that, right? So I thought that was going to be the initial one, but then I was like, but this isn't a YouTube views, which, by the way, nobody's watching it, so it's probably the opposite. Everybody's listening to it. Nobody's fucking sitting down to watch. But do that, like go on our YouTube and go and have a wee look.
Watch me rubbing my nipples.
You can see that. Now and again, I'll do a sexy dance.
Yeah,
just now and again.
What is it? The silky voices, like the
must be
broadcast quality sound.
And maybe it's the lack of misogyny. And
how do they know?
Well, it'll be able to track it on whatever demographics that they collect on the data. So you will, like your Spotify profile, when you set it up, you can set what you are and and all the rest of it. So, but I thought it was a quirk, considering we came right. This hasn't, I don't know, being sexist when it says, but considering we were born from a football one, which is traditionally, in fact, it's not even, the data backs up. Our listeners are predominantly male on Long Bangers, but although we do have like a good chunk of female listeners on it, you would expect that, I don't know, I thought males would have been more or females would have been less represented on it. But it was good. I was happy about it. I thought it was like a nice fact, and I was happy to see it.
And we were talking about that lineup a minute ago, then we were fairly respectful, I think, as well. So that might encourage even more.
Aye, exactly.
Although calling it a lineup, I don't know if that's got to be the right terminology for it anywhere. I don't know if that's what it's called in this day and age. It certainly was in the olden days.
Aye. If you're not sure what we're referring to, you will need to subscribe for that.
You will. Which is why I say that. And you've now got me wondering, like I've got 3 daughters, I wonder if they're all listening, and that's why. The numbers, like all the numbers we're talking about, 3 of them are.
Maybe.
You've got 2 daughters, I've got 3 daughters, there's 5 right away.
Aye.
And I go, oh no, they're not listening to this, are they? Fuck.
Sorry, everybody.
They didn't respect me.
Right. Anyway, we quirk. So if you are a female listener, and we didn't get very many questions in for female listeners though, so if you're listening, send us some questions. We would love to get them.
And if and when we do another live shoot, you're welcome, because there was somebody last time, there was 2 or 3 women in the last time, weren't there, out of the, I don't know, what was it, 50, 60?
Aye, more than 2 or 3. Which again shows we're a broad church call, aren't we?
Yeah.
The Church of Short Bangers.
Back to churches again.
Aye. Which is surprising because I've not had my dinner, and normally by now, if I've not had my dinner, we're not talking about religion, we're talking about scran.
I don't know, I'm actually a bit too much yet. I'm full. I could do with just lying down.
I had on Sunday, it was Jane's birthday this week. On Sunday, we were around at her mum's and we got a curry. Hardly ever get a curry in. Because we were mid-afternoon, we were ordering in. there's not that many places open. Like, we don't get McDonald's and anything. So there was, I can't remember the name of it, on St John's Road. Anyway, it was fucking lovely.
Indian or Chinese?
Oh, the Indian. Aye, Indian. It was superb. So we had that, and it was hot enough that it was making your nose run. But just no hot enough that your mouth's on fire or anything.
You can still taste it.
Oh, amazing. Anyway, ate half of it on Sunday, had the leftovers on Monday. And then on Tuesday, we were out for a drive, and we were in Burnt Island, and there's a wee burger place there called Burger Island, I think it's called. Like Burger Island and Burnt
Makes
Island.
sense.
I might be confusing that because of the island part, but I think that's what it was called. And they do, it was like £12 or £15, this box meal. So you get a burger, and the burger I got 2 bits of beef burger, haggis, peppercorn sauce, brioche bun. Lovely, right? Salt and pepper chips with salt and pepper chicken on the side, and chicken wings. But the salt and pepper chicken and the fries, they had the peppers, like Chinese curry sauce in it. And loads of
mishmash.
Oh, loads of chilies.
Is that like a munchie box then, is it?
No. It's like the burger in 2 sides. That's what you've got there. Because you get loaded fries. So Jane had Jane's fries. She had the haggis and peppercorn sauce on her fries. Jess had bacon and cheese, I think, or maybe that was so fair. It doesn't matter. We'll go through what everybody's had. That's boring. But the chilies on it, because I was like, why then? It was fucking lovely. Nose running again, It was like 3 days on the trot eating food that made my nose run.
I was going to say, better hope your doctor's not listening. You'd be like, fucking hell.
I can't, because of the heartburn and everything, Didn't help myself. And
talking about the tablets.
Actually, last night was chronic, so I was almost falling asleep at my work today. Woke up, I was up for about an hour last night, and I'd fallen asleep. Doug woke up. The kid, something startled him through the night. He doesn't normally wake up through the night. He was barking at the back of 2, and then it was about 3:30, 4. I was up for about an hour, and I was like, fucking, then I only had an hour to sleep before I had to get up for work. So the day I was like, just wanted to sleep.
Is your house like mine then? When the dog's barking, especially at night, that everybody's like really deep sleepers?
You're the only one that hears it. It's got a special bark at night. Aye.
Just the one that nobody can hear it.
Yeah. Aye. Yep, that's I don't know how it happens. It's just they have
weird that,
Aye. Right, Neil Renton, first question. What would you do if you won 111.7 million in the National Lottery? He says, me, you'd give every last penny away to charity. She's my favourite dancer in the Birkin hair. Neil's joke, no others.
He's just done it just for the joke.
Aye. Just set that one up nicely up.
Set his own joke up. So how much? 111?
111, yeah.
So that is the kind of numbers I'd be looking at. That I'd be interested in.
You'd get involved.
I'd get involved. Anything else, I'd just send it back. Double or quits. So I would definitely. So I've had this conversation, as I'm sure these folk have. Right, we've probably done it on here at some point. So we'll see if it's changed their answer, if anybody remembers. But I'd definitely clear all my shit first, right? So that's done, and that's not even breaking the first million, though. Not even close, right? So that's that done. That's that sorted. That's mine. And then I'd buy a house abroad in various countries. So houses abroad. So I'd be looking Europe, right? I don't know, Spain or France or something. Not sure. Or Ibiza. Can't like ever kind of Spain. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know where, but south of France or one of the Balearics or something. Probably one in America as well, which I'm not sure where about yet. And then I would go, right, what have I got left? And then I would be thinking about, right, what does my mum and that need? Get that sort of stuff sorted. But no, like, they're fucking 70 odds. The fucking pensioners are loaded. You know what I mean? It's like the baby boomer generation, they didn't need fuck all. Really, mortgages are paid, pensions fucking, they're more than they can spend. So, they didn't really need that. I struggle with we've definitely spoken about this before, but I struggle with the giving my mates money, but no because I didn't want to, but how much and which ones and all of that shit. So I think I would just then say, I've got houses in fucking Ibiza, France, fucking America, wherever it is, whether it's Miami or fucking New York, I don't know.
Aye.
Use it whenever you want. Just fucking sort your flights. There's the keys, right? And then I would then be doing the big fucking, instead of the coming into my house for a barbecue, I'd be saying we're going to fucking wherever
Vegas.
this weekend.
Aye.
And do that regularly rather than go, there's a million, there's a million, there's a million. You give a fucking million, you'll give me $500,000. All that shit. Not having any of that crap. I'll just be fucking generous, but not give anybody like a load of cash. I think that's where I'm going with it.
Aye.
Yeah.
My attitude to it has changed over the years because I think before, I definitely remember having a conversation. The first time Euro Millions ever went over 100 million. Remember, it was before the Queensferry crossing was built, and we were in the car, Jane and I and the kids, coming back from Edinburgh to Fife, sat in traffic, and we're kid, what would you do if you won it? And we fell out. They had a wee argument because I said I'd put money into Hibs. Well, you wouldn't do that, right? And so we ended up having a bit of an argument about fictional money.
I won the fucking money. No, you.
Right?
I forgot to say how much I would give away to charities, and I'd give homeless charities and all that, food banks, they kind of ones. That I missed out when I was being really selfish about what I would buy. I would 100%, at least, if it was 111 million, at least 11 million it would go to that.
Well, here's my view on it. So I would put enough money away for the kids that they were fine, like for their kids and their kids' and whatever.
I'd do it in a trust though, rather than make sure they're going to be lazy bastards.
That's it. So it's put away that they'll be fine and they'll never have to worry about it, and they'll be able to live a life rather than thinking about working every day.
Do you know what? And see on that's a good one though, because you would want them to work though, right? Because it gives them a work ethic and all.
I want them to go and experience life, go travelling, go fucking surfing, go fucking abseiling, or just go and fucking.
I think they'd be cunts if you did that. I think they would be absolute cunts if you did that. They would end up being prime minister or something. Because that's the life they have.
Maybe.
Right.
But
so I think you've got you need to give them some kind of fucking something to work for. And where I was going with it is the boy of Dragon's Den, the really tall boy. I read once he would, obviously his kids could have as much fucking money as they wanted, but he done a thing whereas if they got a job like police, nurse, ambulance man, these kind of service industries, if they pay you 30 grand, he'd double it annually. Like obviously they've got their fucking trust funds and that as well, but go and do a proper job that actually helps folk, and if I'll
maybe, but I want them to go and experience life and not have to think about that. Like just to go do it on their terms for a bit, and then see what they wanted to do. Anyway, that's probably what I would do. Like, so I think fucking, and again, you look at the work we do, right? And it's different for the services, right? I get that side of it, and I think that's fine. Or going to do some charity work or something like that, right? So that's fine. There's maybe that's the route I would sort of steer them in. But I wouldn't want them going fucking knocking their pan in to make some rich cunt richer.
No, I get that. I mean, like, I get that, and that's what I mean about the kind of jobs.
Aye. So I would do that, and then I would probably go Brewster's Millions with it. Right? You seen Brewster's Millions? You can this. Brewster's Millions. Richard Pryor, I think, he gets $1 million, has to spend it. Right. That's it. That's kind of the condition. And I would try to die with as little of that money left over as possible. I would just go and fucking enjoy it. So I would go and spend money on Hibs. So fucking loads it on Hibs because I'd want to go and see us winning games of football. You said to the houses, travelling, fine food like that, and give fucking shitloads of it away, like to good causes. I'd be quite happy to give my pals money. Like I would just be like. I think the sort of thing I'd like to do is, I'm sure I said this last time we talked about it, is if we were doing this, we were talking on the last one, what kind of your ambitions or whatever. So, would you want to get up working? Why do we know? I'll cover your wage, and we'll do the podcast for a living, and that's it. Like you're no out of pocket, you're not having to get up. You could do this. We could meet up in person and do it. Do it and go to piss after it, or whatever we wanted to do. go and enjoy the food. That's kind of where I would go with. And then just, like I say, think, when I die, I'm not wanting to have 25 million in the bank when I die. What the fuck's the point in that? Make sure somebody benefits for that. Somebody else can get it if I can't benefit for it.
Mm-hmm.
Spend 25 million on a coffin and then fucking burn it.
That's the thing. I agree with. I get what you're saying. I just think and it would be different if you actually had the decision to make. But I just think, I can imagine how much did they give you? They kind of conversations. I wouldn't want that.
Aye.
So he gave everybody fuck all. But he took me on holiday 3 times a year on his jet.
Nah, so I think I suppose like be in a position where you can, like I can't be in a position where we'd be skint. And you're like, fucking hell, you would not admit it to anybody. You probably have pals that are in that position as well that they didn't let on. And see if you could just go and fucking, there's enough for you. I don't care how much you owe to anybody or what you need to survive, but you have a good life. You wouldn't be stressing about it anymore. I would love to do that for folk, just going, fucking, because £111 million, that's more money than you'd ever need, right? And you could get away 50 million of that, and you wouldn't notice it. You wouldn't notice the difference. So I would, like, even if I wanted to give my pals £1 million each, that's how many friends have I got? It's £500,000 that I'd be giving away. So, for that, it's that much money that you have to. I think you would have to have that mindset to say, I didn't need to be greedy with this. It's so much money that I can do everything I want to do and still make other folk have a great life.
And again, that's a great sentiment. I just think if you're not used to it, you need to cock any of it at the start.
Aye, well, I'm not going to go buy a fucking like a Picasso or that and spunk it on. I think a £90 million painting or a Van Gogh or something. Do you know what I mean?
I thought you meant a search. Me. You've not got
the hang of this, mate. You've fucked this. Yeah, fucked it. Anyway, good question, Neil. That's almost an episode end of that, Ian. Like almost, we've got a couple minutes left. We've got a question for Ian. Right, Ian. This has happened again. It's giving us a statement. The best thing about the Netflix film Air about signing Michael Jordan is the soundtrack.
Is it?
Yeah, that's no question, Ian.
I've not watched it yet.
No, and it's a good film.
Have you watched it? Oh, you were at the cinema to see it?
Aye, but the thing is, the only thing I thought about it, and it's probably similar to folk who went to watch Titanic, and that is you sort of ken how it ends.
Is he dying then? Is he?
Well, he drowns. He drowns in the boat. Aye, so it takes kind of a bit of the suspense away from it. I think that's the only sort of, and I think how they could have avoided that because it's a good story.
Seen The Last Dance as well, which is excellent. You've watched that, eh?
Aye,
you know that how it ends is that he scores the winning basket.
Aye,
because that's what he does every fucking week. It's like, is there any other sport where you play for an hour? Well, I think it's an hour. It lasts a lot longer than that with all the breaks and timeouts and all that stuff. But where it always just comes into the last basket. Maybe you're just playing fucking first basket the winner rather than fucking last.
Aye.
See everybody all the fucking hassle on the time, eh?
Aye. And it can't be. Well, maybe it is. Maybe they have memorable baskets, right? But you think like goals when you watch football, and somebody will score a fucking raker. It might be the only goal in the game, and you remember that goal for fucking years. Like you could go back to, well, I mean any number of goals.
I remember any.
Like over goals for before we were born. Like what's his face?
Archie
Gemmill. That was the one I was reaching for there, right? Before we were born, and you ken it, and it's memorable. Surely did they get that with fucking like ice hockey and basketball and fucking baseball and that? It's just.
I think basketball. They showed a couple in that Last Dance because it was like a pre-planned move in that. So sometimes they're shooting to different places, which is like in football. I guess it's the same.
I
actually watched a wee bit. When I watched that documentary, I thought, come on, that looks quite an exciting sport to watch. When we get into that, But then I remember my sister used to play, and I was like, boring as fuck. Like they just go, and as I say, it's just turn about, turn about, turn about. You have a shot, you have a shot. And the only way you get a game that's got a big gap in scoring is if one team shooting shite.
Aye.
But when you get to NBA level, the
They're all
shooting's no
good.
shite. Eh? So they'll just jump up and put it straight in. They're not even really shooting. They're just jumping in and dropping that in. So it comes down to who missed or who defended one. Because you'll need to defend one and then just score all yours. It's like a penalty shooting.
Aye. Check because I think they have measures against time wasting. Because if you were good at time wasting, if you scored like you're the last team to score, you just need to fuck about for a bit. Go do my head
So
knocking.
keep ahead of the ball.
Aye. Right, that's us out of time. Neil, well done with your question. That
Well done, Neil.
that wins the questions. Like in terms of questions that made this episode good, Neil's question was the winner. Ian, almost nearly there. Right, thanks for tuning in, folks. Keep your questions coming, especially if you're one of our female listeners. We'll watch it for them. Right, and I will see you on Tuesday.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink water, no.